Hi, everyone. I'm Carli.
And I'm Sophia.
And this is Away She Goes, a podcast from girls who travel.
Each episode will help you feed your wanderlust with travel tips, stories, inspiration, and more. Away she goes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Away She Goes. We want to start off by saying happy holidays. We know that it's early to mid-December, and we're very excited for all of the holidays here in the U.S. We just celebrated Thanksgiving. Obviously, we're looking forward to Christmas, Hanukkah, all of the other wonderful holidays that we get to celebrate in December, and of course, New Year's as well. So Sophia and I wanted to take this episode to talk about Christmas markets in Europe. We know that that is a very big draw to Europe for tourists this time of year. So we wanted to take this episode to highlight those for our listeners. And just a quick note, we will be gone in a couple of weeks. We're going to take a little break for the holidays, and then we'll be back in early January. So, Sophia, do you want to get us started? We have compiled a list of like the top 10 to 12 Christmas markets in Europe that we recommend, as well as some details.
Yes. I would like to start with Cologne. I don't think I've been to the Christmas market as far as I know, but I've been to Cologne plenty of times. And by itself, it's a really nice city. The Christmas market is open from November 23rd to December 23rd. So in Germany, typically Christmas markets stop right before or after Christmas Eve. So if you're coming in January, you might see Christmas markets in London still be open, but not in Germany. In Cologne, there's like several markets around the city. The largest one is right beneath the cathedral, the Kölner Dom. It's called Markt der Engel, which means Market of the Angels. And it is called that because it has like great decorations with like hundreds of twinkly lights and angels hanging overhead. I guess that's where the name comes from. There's another one, which is called Nikolausdorf, or St. Nicholas's Village. And it's more for kids because in Germany, we're really big on the Christian story of the real Saint Nick that lived in modern day Turkey now. And this market is also really pretty because apparently it has some really great architecture nearby, like some 13th century arch. That's the word, right? And then there's also the Heumarkt, which has an ice skating ring outdoors in the city, which is always really nice to look at. Even if you're not a skater, it's nice to just look at other people, being like, oh, they can do that. I could just fall on my face.
I love ice skating. Yeah, it's always fun to people watch at the ice skating rink. All right. Number 2 is Salzburg, Austria. So the dates this year are November 23rd, 2023 to January 1st, 2024. So this is one that will be going after the actual Christmas holiday, which, as Sophia just said, sometimes is a bit rare in Europe. Sometimes they stop right before Christmas. This one does not. This one in particular is best for Christmas carols and ancient traditions. So this one will have authentic market stalls that look like they're from the 15th century, which is when the market originally started. So they really make that extra effort to kind of stick with the roots and the origins of this Christmas market and give it that authentic old feel. And authenticity is key here. There are handcrafted gifts that are sold in general, more than like novelty stocking stuffers and kind of more modern day things. And in terms of Christmas carols, there are free daily concerts at 5 p.m. in front of the cathedral and sing-alongs on Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. So if Christmas carols are your thing, this might be one to check out when you go to the Christmas market.
That sounds really cool. At my local Christmas market, they also have a Christmas Day sing-along, which for us, Christmas Day is Christmas Eve. So right before the market closes is one last sing-along. Anyway, off to number 3. And on the official list that I found, that we took most of our inspiration from, it said Berlin was number 3. And I'm sorry, Berlin, but I disagree. And as a German, I don't understand why none of the 3 cities that I'm about to name made the list, because in Germany, they are the most famous Christmas markets. There's Nuremberg, which is the very most famous. It's called Christkindlmarkt because in like ancient German tradition, we don't believe that Santa Claus brings the gifts. We believe that baby Jesus, as the form of Christkind, brings the gifts. And that's what the market is named after. There's also famous mulled wine to be purchased actually nowadays in supermarkets everywhere, but it's like originally from there. And I haven't been there myself, but it's famous. It's beautiful. One of our team members has been. Shout out to Annalisa. I think you've been, right? Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Then Münster is really pretty because it's a very ancient old town as well. And there's just stalls everywhere, also really old. And it's like food stalls. It's little wooden trinkets and like a lot of handcrafted stuff and like knitted socks and whatever. And then there's also Bremen, which is a city that I used to live in and therefore have a lot of love for. And there's a tiny, tiny market right by as you exit the train station. And then there's a bigger market in the city center, which is the real attraction. And there's also always this very German thing, which is a huge decoration of a Christmas pyramid. Do you know what that is? Does that translate?
I don't. Okay. I don't know what it is.
So it's this weird ancient thing. It's wood made out of wood entirely, and it's like very delicate. It has multiple stories, and it's like a round pyramid kind of. It spins on an axis, and you put candles around the pyramid, which then generate heat. And on top there is a fan, and the fan starts spinning with the heat. And
that sounds so cool.
It is. I challenge you, Google it, everyone. I love it. We have one at home. It's like the most Christmassy feel for me. And usually it's the nativity scene that is like on multiple layers of this. And in Bremen, there is a huge one, not working with actual candles because that would be insane. Because it's like 3-4 meters tall. And usually you get them in like 30 centimeters or something. But yeah, that's my recommendation if you come to Germany and want to visit some Christmas markets. Those 3 are definitely the ones to check out. But be aware that there might be clashes with the football schedule of the Bundesliga. I've had that before when I went to Münster. There was a game nearby and the trains were packed. So that's
one of these years I will get to Germany for the Christmas markets.
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe next year. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
All right. So number 4 on the list is Budapest, Hungary. And many of you know from listening that big part of my family is Hungarian. I have not yet been to Hungary, but it is very high up on my list. So one of the best Christmas markets in Europe is in Budapest, which is the capital city of Hungary. This year, the dates are November 18th. So it has already started as of the time of this recording to January 1st. So another one that runs through Christmas to New Year's. This one is best known for ice rinks and its Christmas illuminations. Now, notice we didn't say Christmas lights specifically, and there's a reason for that. So there are 2 Christmas markets. The main one is in Vörösmarty Square, and this is in the city center. It's the older of the 2 Christmas markets. This one, you're going to have food stalls, a lot of more of the older handcrafted souvenirs, and free concerts. I'm a little bit biased. Hungarian food is one of my favorite cuisines in the whole world. So plenty to eat, trust me. The other one is at the Basilica. This one also has, the food stalls and the crafts and everything that the other one has. But this one specifically has a Christmas laser projection on the Basilica itself. So that's why we didn't say Christmas lights, because it's not just lights, it's lasers and all sorts of other cool things. This one also has an ice rink circling around a Christmas tree. So between the 2 of them, both of them, you would get a really, really cool experience, really different experience in some ways. So highly recommend Budapest for multiple reasons, but especially for the Christmas markets.
Yeah, fuck coming to Germany next year. Let's go to Budapest.
Let's do. I listen. People always like jokingly say these things to me, and I'm like, I will do it. Like when people are like, "Oh, we should do this," and I'm like, yeah, no, I will. Like you can't. I always tell people you can't joke about this kind of shit with me because I will actually do it. So if you wanted to be in Budapest for Christmas next year, and you say that to me, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous to be my friend because
that sounds fun. And I want to know what it looks like, because what I'm imagining, which is probably not accurate at all, but the only comparison I have is like the projections at the Disney castle That like the light shows they have on that.
Yeah. That sounds probably pretty accurate.
Let's go check it out.
Okay.
So next on the list, we have London, which it isn't the most traditional Christmas market. I've been there before. It's called Winter Wonderland. But then London as a city is very much in the Christmas spirit, and you have light decorations everywhere, and it's really nice. And if you happen to be in London, this Christmas market usually runs until early January, maybe even mid-January. Would have to look it up. Did not before. Did not do my research. My bad. But it does have some of the more traditional Christmas stalls with some hand-carved stuff. But it also has a lot of touristy stuff, which is not very common. Usually at most European Christmas markets, you have one carousel. And that's like a very traditional one where you have like horses and other figures like that. Like very very old, like if you watched The Thief Lord, then that kind of carousel. But at Winter Wonderland, there's also going to be, it's part fun fair, it's part Christmas market, is what you can expect there. But it is still fun, and especially, or if you live in London and you're homesick for a Christmas market, it's the way to go.
All right. Next on the list, we have Prague, Czech Republic. This year, this Christmas market runs from December 2nd to January 6th. So this one actually goes later, I think, than any of the others on this list. This one is best known for its open air concerts and traditional nativity scenes. So grog is the choice of drink there. Now, this is not glögg, which we will talk about later. It's grog with an R. Rum, water, lemon, and sugar. That sounds good. I love rum. This one is a great architectural setting. Obviously, Prague is a very old city, very old architecture, a very old feel. So 14th century Our Lady Before Tin Church and 15th century astronomical clock is kind of all surrounding where this Christmas market is in the city. Here again, you're looking at your more old-timey handcrafted gifts, including hand-blown glass baubles, which are like ornaments. There's a great variety of fresh food, such as garlic and cheese flatbread, aka langos. Now, I am going to insert my Hungarian self here. This is a typical national dish of the Czech Republic, but langos is actually a Hungarian dish as well. It's one of like the main Hungarian foods that you would eat. And obviously, Hungary and the Czech Republic are neighbors. They share a lot of very, very similar traditions, foods, anything. And I have never done an ancestry DNA test, but my last name actually is more Czech than it is Hungarian. So I have a feeling if I ever do one of those DNA tests, it's going to actually come back that I'm like part Czech also. I would not be surprised in the slightest. So langos is a Hungarian food as well as a Czech Republican food. Very, very good. Highly recommend. There's also a livestock zoo here. So petting zoo, you could see animals up close and that kind of thing.
Next on the list, we have Strasbourg in France, right on the German border, which I want to say Strasbourg, but it's like, no, Strasbourg. It's open from the 24th of November to the 24th of December, so right up until Christmas Eve. And it's supposed to be like a very storybook kind of scenery. Like it is also known as France's capital of Christmas. So amid stunning architecture, you'll have like very traditional market stalls that sell hand-painted wooden Christmas decorations and typical Alsace products, which is the region around Strasbourg, and like sausages and Kugelhopf, which I had to look up because I was like, what is Kugelhopf? And I was like, in German we call it Gugelhopf. So like it's cake for those who don't know.
Yeah, Kugel is cake, right?
No, Kuchen is cake. Kugel is sphere.
Different. Okay.
So, our German lesson.
All right. Up next on the list, we have Gothenburg, Sweden. Various dates here ranging from like mid to late November to right before New Year's, December 30th. This one is best if you're looking for more chic vibes and mugs full of glögg. Now, here we are talking about glögg. I had glögg in Copenhagen, which we will talk about in a couple of minutes. Spoiler alert. So this one, the main attraction is Leisberg, which is an amusement park that turns into a Christmas market. So there are actually legitimate good rides because it's an amusement park all year round. It's not like what we would have here in the US is like a carnival where they travel and they build the ride in 2 days and you feel like you're going to die every time you go on the ride because you don't know who the hell built it. This one, the rides are established. They're there. It's already in an amusement park. The downside to this, though, is that you do have to pay to enter because you do have to pay to get into the amusement park. The food here, oh no, smoked reindeer. Sorry, Santa.
Yuck.
And glögg, which is the Scandinavian mulled wine. It's very good. It's very strong, but it'll knock you out. Like I made the mistake one morning of having it like mid to late morning. I think it was like 11 a.m. And I didn't even have that much. And then it just makes you like really sleepy. So I don't recommend drinking it at the beginning of your day because you'll make yourself drowsy. There's also Santa's Wooden Workshop as well as an ice show. So this one kind of has that cool, exciting element of having an amusement park that runs in the winter, which is something here in the northern United States that does not happen. All the amusement parks close down in like late fall, I would say, and don't reopen until the spring. So to be able to go on a roller coaster outside in the middle of winter would definitely be a unique experience.
Yeah, I just hope they offer like some station that you can sit in that is really warm to like unfreeze your face.
I know. Imagine how cold that must be, especially in Sweden.
Yeah, I was in the area of Göteborg last year around this time now, and it was like snow, and not a little bit of snow, like North America amount of snow. Like,
yeah, we get a lot of snow. Get a lot of snow here in parts of North America.
We don't so much in my area of Germany. Like it snowed a little bit today, but it's already all gone. It wasn't much, sadly.
We actually, I live in upstate New York. So my area of the United States is one of the snowiest in the entire United States in general. And I think we've gotten like one single like dusting of snow. And usually, so I'm like, oh boy, which I hate the snow, so I'm not upset about it. But there should definitely be more than there is. And there's not.
Yeah. Next on the list, we have Bratislava in Slovakia, which is open. Well, the Christmas market, the town is always open from November 23rd to December 23rd this year. And it's best known for wooden toys. And if you're a foodie, that's the place to go because it's famous. Like it has a lot of fairy lights, also traditional woodwork gifts. Like at this point, it's the European household thing to do, buy wood stuff at a Christmas market. They also have many other decorations put up so that it looks very pretty. And you'll find a lot of special traditional foods such as pancakes, sausages, and other cakes. And now we're coming to Copenhagen.
Yep. So I am very excited. This is one that I have actually experienced in person, which is why I get to talk about it today. This is the only European Christmas market that I've experienced. So Copenhagen, Denmark. The dates this year are from November 17th to December 31st, which is New Year's Eve. Copenhagen, as a side note, on New Year's, that's what I went for. So I flew to Copenhagen on like December 26th or 27th, like right after Christmas, and stayed through New Year's Day. People warned me. I had read online that New Year's Eve in Copenhagen was intense, but it was like, it was nothing that I could have ever prepared for. And I didn't even go into the city center because I had been warned not to, because it's just so many fireworks. People drink a lot and will shoot fireworks at you because they think it's funny, that kind of thing. So I thought it was intense and I wasn't even participating in like the most intense part of the parties. But anyway, I did the Christmas markets. I think I actually went on New Year's Eve day to Tivoli, which is another amusement park. Same thing, open all year round, open for the Christmas market. So this is best for Ferris wheel rides because of Tivoli, and Christmas hygge, which is the Danish word. And it basically is, I guess, hygge. I think hygge really means
hygge.
Like, what?
Hygge. It's pronounced hygge.
Oh, I was close. At least I didn't say hygge, which is how it reads. At least I knew it wasn't that. I think is generally just a feeling of like content, comfort, happiness. It kind of just embodies all of those things. And it's again, a Danish thing. I actually got a shirt when I was there that just says it like right across the front. That's in like big block letters right across the front. So there are several markets around the city center, but the main one that draws people in is the one at Tivoli Gardens, which is the one that I went to. This is the one that's at the amusement park. So there's a Ferris wheel, there's a roller coaster, there's all sorts of stuff. There were these adorable little stalls. There were crafts, there were Christmas ornaments, there was glögg, there was food, there was everything that you could possibly imagine. And at night it gets really cool. There's fairy lights, there's Christmas light. They did a light show. I didn't go to it, but there were light shows a few nights that I was in Copenhagen. There's a skating rink, and then they have caramelized almonds, they have the glögg, they have all sorts of just holiday foods. So it was a really cool atmosphere. They had, these little huts that were built that had little snowy roofs. They put a Santa hat on the big windmill right in the middle of the amusement park. Like it was just adorable. So I loved Tivoli for the Christmas market.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was a fun day. I ate a lot that day.
I can imagine, because that's always the two things usually for Christmas markets, except for like shopping, is just eating and drinking.
Yep, I did a lot of that too.
Which brings us to our last destination that we have on the list, which is Sevilla in Spain. The Christmas market runs from December 1st to January 5th. In Spain, I expect it to run a little bit longer, because they are also big on celebrating the Three Kings, which is on January 6th, if I'm not wrong.
I think so.
It's supposed to be a very immersive market. There's going to be a lot of artistic and cultural and entertaining vibe going on. There, of course, you'll have decorated wooden stalls, but you also have more like street exhibitions and performances. The nativity scene, which is a must for that region. You'll have musical choirs, artsy Andalusian gifts that you can purchase, churros, which actually nowadays you can find on a lot of Christmas markets outside of Spain as well. I think I had some in London at Winter Wonderland once. And something that you won't find on Christmas markets, but is very Spanish kind of, because when I lived in London, my best friend was from Sevilla, and so she got me Christmas chocolate as a gift. And to this day, there's a part of my brain that will always be obsessed with Christmas chocolate, because it's delicious. It's not Christmassy in the way that you'd expect it. It's not Christmassy at all. In my opinion, it doesn't have like any of the typical Christmas spices, but it's like more of a nougat kind of chocolate, quite soft, except for it has a bit of a crunch. I think it has like rice puffs or something inside. So it's like crunchy and sweet and delicious.
That does sound good. You're talking about chocolate, and I'm thinking of the full-size giant Milka bar that I still have that I have not opened, because now I don't know. At first I was going to eat the ones that I had, because I was going to be able to replenish my stash, but now I'm not. So now it's being saved until who knows when.
Yeah.
So you talk about European chocolate and I go to Milka.
Oh, also, one question I have for you, Carly. What is your favorite thing about Christmas markets?
Oh, it's a tie. Can I have two things?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The two things I would say definitely are the different foods. And the thing that I like is there's such a variety. Like you can just try so many things. Like you can have a little bit of this, and then you move on to the next stall and have a little bit of something else. Like you really get to try a lot of things all kind of in one condensed area. And then the decorations as well. I love Christmas lights, Christmas trees. When I was in Copenhagen, I did a day trip to Lund and Malmö in Sweden, and there was a huge Christmas tree right in the center area of Malmö, and it was beautiful. It was gigantic. So I would say like lights and decorations and the food both.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. For me, it's also definitely the lights and decorations. The food, not so much, but mostly just like the atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
which is a shame because it doesn't keep me very long. I remember times at Christmas markets where I'm like, because I don't drink, right? So I go there, I'm like, oh, this is nice. And then I'm like, well, I can go home now. I'm getting cold.
Yeah. 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 Tivoli, because that's the only one I can speak from experience on. I felt that it was a little small because Tivoli for an amusement park isn't that big. Like it took me maybe an hour and a half to kind of fully like see everything. And then I kind of was like, now what? Like I have a ticket for the whole day and I've already seen everything. I've already eaten. What, kind of like what else am I going to do? So that obviously is unique to Tivoli because it is this confined area, being that it is the amusement park. But that was really my only complaint.
Nice. So let's wrap it up. If you have any other cities that you think should be acknowledged, feel free to message us on Instagram or reach out. And in the outro, you'll hear all the different ways that you can reach out to us. And we'll see you again in the new year. Happy holiday celebrations. And in Germany, we say Guten Rutsch because we, for some reason, think people should slide into the new year.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. We can slide into the new year. Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. We will see you in 2024. That's all for this episode. If you'd like more Away She Goes in your life, make sure to stop by girlswhotravel.org/podcast. That's where you can fill out a form if you're interested in being a guest on the show. You can also write to us at awayshegosgwt@gmail.com or leave us a message on our Google voicemail from any phone or computer at 1-563-503-6323. To follow our adventures, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Carli Sees the World. Carli is spelled Carli.
You can also follow me at Sophia AEZ, Sophia with a PH. Away She Goes is part of Girls Who Travel, a community dedicated to radically redefining travel to be inclusive, sustainable, and empowering. You can learn more about GWT, find travel tips and support, shop travel-themed items made by GWT members, and join our Facebook group with nearly 100,000 women all around the world at girlswhotravel.org. We can't wait to connect and explore with you. Away she goes.